I grew up in a situation where I come from a middle-class background, from a small town with middle-class values, where family was important, your neighbors were important, where everybody kind of worked together. Everything was together. All my life, I'm a part of groups, I'm a part of teams, I'm a part of something other than myself.
In fact, Jerry probably has about 150 first cousins, all of whom grew up in an area, small town area, spent every Sunday together, and I think that's a big part of who he is. Family has always been important. Being with people has been important to Jerry, and doing things in groups and with people is important to him, and that was always a part that I really liked.
If I were a carpenter and you were a lady, would you marry me anyway? Would you have my baby?
If you were a carpenter and I were a lady, I'd marry you anyway. I'd have your baby.
When I first met Mr. Vollmer in 1970, he was student teaching, and he was very quiet and kind of shy. And, you know, I was first impressed with the fact that he was really a gentleman, had wonderful manners, nice to me and to everybody around us.
Daddy's hands were soft and kind when I was crying.
My dad, considering that he's retiring from education, was inspirational to me because I also became a teacher.
He has taught me that I always can work hard for what I want, and that if I work hard enough, I can achieve anything.
One of the things that I greatly appreciate and have learned from you over the years is your ability to deal with a house full of women. It certainly is challenging at times, but it's one of the things that I can say you have truly taught me is to appreciate the fact that when the women come home from shopping, I actually realize how much money I've saved because of all the sales.
Lovers really fall in love to stay, stand beside each other. Promise really so people can not something they would say, then forget.
I believe that one thing that I would do is be a very good grandfather. Teach them many things, and all those things that I'm excited about in my life, that's what I want for them, and I want to give them the best experience I can.
Whoa, Grandpa, tell me about the good old days.
This is actually my 36th year in education, and I've been in a school setting since 1971. And I first taught at Breck for 5 years, which was a private school experience. Great experience, loved every minute of it. It was neat. I can remember the first day pulling into the parking lot, and I came in there with my 65 Chev Malibu, and I parked in a spot, and all of a sudden there was this brand new car that pulled in right next to me. I got out of my car, they got out of their car, and it was one of my students whose dad owned downtown Chevytown. So each month he was driving a brand new car to school. So it gave me an opportunity to teach and interact with people from a different socioeconomic status than what I was used to.
Well, I want to say to Mr. Vollmer that wild idea you had in high school, hey RT, why don't you stop disrupting class and go out and do something useful like, oh, I don't know, run for mayor. That was a good idea. So thanks, I like the idea. What next?
Then I went 6 years at Woodbury High School, and I had a good experience there also. Very close social studies department at that time as a social studies teacher. I drove past Rosemont High School every day to get to Woodbury, and it was a long drive, so there were times when I said it would be nice just to stop right here. So one Friday afternoon in the spring, I decided to drop into Rosemont High School, and never really believing or thinking that I would meet anybody. But I went in the main office and I said, could I speak with the principal? And the secretary got up and said, sure, let me check. And Mr. Wilson, Tom Wilson, comes out of the office and he introduced himself to me. I sat down, talked with him for about a half hour, and I thought, gee, that felt pretty good. It worked out very, very well for me. It was a good experience. I certainly could have stayed at Rosemont and been in a counseling department that I was very comfortable with. Nice people there. I felt that for 10 years, my last 10 years, I didn't want them just to be a ho-hum type 10 years. I'm just going through the moves and have done what I've done for the previous 10, 15 years. I wanted a little bit more excitement. I wanted a little more of a challenge. I wanted to be a part of building something up from the ground and making an important impact on the school and environment here at Eastview High School. But it's probably time for me to change gears, do something a little bit different. The piece that I will miss. There's a lot of great kids that I've worked with, and I reflect on that all the time. It's neat to be able to be a part of their life, but in reality, they were a big part of my life. And those things will live on with me. I see myself working with woodworking, doing remodeling around the house, working on projects for people.
He's made several pieces of, tables and cribs and entertainment centers for our house. If you look at his work, it's second to none. He carves his name in everything that he does, and that's been a lot of fun. Having a piece of Mr. Vollmer at our house every time, you look at something, well, Mr. Vollmer did that.
He spends his summers in our basement. I have one story. Our little granddaughter, when she was about a year old, she'd come into our house and she'd go to the basement door and she'd yell, "Papa!" because she thought he lived in the basement. That's where he's always, when she would come over in the summers. So that will be one thing he will definitely continue.
When I first came to Eastview High School, I was an industrial technology teacher, and I came in on a Monday and I went to go use the bandsaw with the students, and the bandsaw was completely wiped out. There was 0 teeth on the bandsaw. And then Jerry came in about 5 minutes later and he said, "Have you seen the bandsaw?" I said, "Yeah, what happened?" He said, "Well, I did some woodworking on it." I didn't know him at that point, so I thought his woodworking skills were a little marginal at best, but he came around and he showed me that his woodworking skills were much more than my first indication when he used our bandsaw at Eastview. That's probably the funniest story, and he still has a plaque with a piece of the blade on it in his office. If you ever want to go take a look at it, it's down there. Anytime a friend leaves, there's a hole in your heart, there's a hole in the school, and with Mr. Vollmer leaving, he leaves that hole.
He's irreplaceable, so you're not going to find someone like Jerry. You can't not take something away from him, because that's who he is.
He has so much insight and so much background and knowledge that both as a father and as somebody who works with high school students. So, yeah, I will definitely miss him greatly as a friend and as a colleague.
All the very best in your retirement. You deserve it. Thank you very much.
He's kind of a father figure to me, and he's very supportive. And I know for a fact I would not have made it through my high school years without him helping me.
I was still in love until I opened my eyes and walked out the door, and the clouds came tumbling down, and it's bye-bye, goodbye, I tried, and I twisted it wrong just to make it right, had to leave myself behind, and I've been flying high all night, so come pick me up. Landed.
So he's just an all-around class act. We're gonna miss him.
He's got the biggest heart. He cares about people. He cares about kids.
I wish you the very, very best in your retirement, and I'm sure you're gonna make the most of it.
And he's very loyal, and he does whatever he can do to help others. So dedicated is probably the one word I would use.
Congratulations, Dad. We're really excited for you and wish that we could be there to help you celebrate your retirement. from school and from being a teacher for so many years.
He always tries to see other viewpoints, and so I probably would say the word kind would be one word if I had to narrow it to one.
Can you blow him a kiss? Say, love you, Papa.
We love you, Papa. Congratulations.
Come and visit us sometime. No, baby.
Say bye-bye, Anna.